Scorpio, be very still for a moment and listen, because what I'm about to say is not casual, not generic, and not meant for everyone. It is for the Scorpio whose chest has been tight lately, whose sleep has been strange, whose spirit has felt like it's standing at the edge of some invisible cliff without knowing why. Because this Sunday is not just another page on the calendar. It is a turning point in your energy field, a once-in-a-lifetime shift where the mask you've worn for years and the truth you've hidden from yourself finally collide, and what you choose to do with that collision will echo far beyond this week. You've felt it building, haven't you? The subtle sense that something is coming, that the usual emotional armor you wear isn't sitting on you the same way, that certain conversations feel sharper, certain silences louder, that your intuition has gone from a quiet inner voice to a constant hum in the background, like spiritual static that refuses to be ignored. This Sunday doesn't arrive as a thunderstorm from the outside. It rises from the inside, like a deep tide in your soul turning direction. And suddenly, the parts of you that used to hide in the dark corners of your heart are stepping forward and asking to be seen, to be heard, to be honored. You may notice in the hours leading up to this day that your patience for pretending is gone. Small lies, half-truths, performative niceness, and relationships that only survive because you keep censoring yourself will feel unbearable, like a shirt that has become 3 sizes too small. Your body will feel the energy before your mind can label it, perhaps as a restlessness, a desire to clean, to rearrange, to delete old messages, to unfollow certain people, to sit alone and breathe, to stop forcing smiles and just be. That's not you being dramatic. That is the first sign that your soul is preparing you for a moment of pure alignment, where you no longer get to live split in two, one version of you for the world and another buried deep within, unseen, unheard, but constantly aching. Scorpio, this Sunday is a mirror day. A day when life silently places a mirror in front of you and refuses to let you look away. And the reflection staring back will not be the curated, controlled, mysterious persona you've perfected over the years, but the raw, unfiltered human underneath, the one who gets tired, the one who gets lonely, the one who is secretly afraid they are only loved when they are useful, powerful, or unshakable. You've built a fortress of control around your heart, stone by stone, strategy by strategy, reading everyone's motives, anticipating every hidden agenda, guarding yourself from betrayal by making sure you are never the one caught off guard. But that fortress has become heavy, hasn't it? You can feel its weight in your shoulders, in the way your jaw tenses when you're alone, in the way you replay conversations in your head at night, not because you're petty, but because you're terrified of missing a sign that someone might hurt you. This Sunday, that fortress is not destroyed by an enemy. It is softened by truth. You may find yourself in a conversation where, for the first time in a long time, you cannot pretend you're fine. Your voice might crack, your eyes might well up, your guard might slip for just a moment, and in that crack, real light enters, the kind that doesn't care about performance, the kind that doesn't need you to be perfect, composed, or invulnerable. That is the once-in-a-lifetime energy shift. The universe is asking you to stop being the unbreakable one and allow yourself to be the honest one, to stop defining your strength by how much you endure in silence, and instead by how courageously you can finally speak what your heart has been holding for years. For some Scorpios, especially those whose birthdays fall nearer the start of the season, this Sunday will highlight the way you use control as a shield, how you test people, withhold pieces of yourself, or create a mysterious distance so you can never be fully abandoned because you were never fully there. You'll see the ways you've built emotional contracts where you are always the one with the upper hand, always the one who knows more, feels more, and reveals less, and how lonely that has actually become. For those born in the middle of the sign, this energy may push to the surface how much you've sacrificed your emotional truth in professional spaces, How often you play the strong one at work, the reliable one, the problem solver, the one who never cracks just to earn respect in environments that never truly deserved your soul's depth in the first place. And for late-season Scorpios, this Sunday might shine a light on the ways you hide your own scars to protect the people you love, how you try to carry everyone's pain so they never have to see yours, how you keep smiling so they don't worry, even when you feel like breaking inside. Regardless of where your birthday falls, the pattern is the same. This Sunday brings a once-in-a-lifetime invitation to stop being a character and finally be a person, to stop performing your strength and start embodying your truth. Don't be surprised if you feel raw, exposed, or even slightly panicked as this energy peaks. You might wake up and feel strangely emotional without knowing why, or you may find that something seemingly small, a sentence, a memory, an old song, a message, a social media post, hits you so deeply it feels like a wave pulling you under for a moment. That is your soul signaling that the old identity can't hold everything you've been through anymore. The version of you that could survive by being guarded, sarcastic, distant, or endlessly in control has done its job. It kept you safe through storms that would have broken a softer person. But you are not meant to live the rest of your life in survival mode, secretly suspicious of every blessing and every person who comes close. This Sunday is a crossroads. You can either tighten your armor, pretend it's just another day, scroll past the feeling, distract yourself, bury your emotions back down, and if you do, life will keep sending lessons in harsher ways. Or you can pause, breathe, and let yourself feel the full impact of this shift, even if it scares you. Because on the other side of that fear is freedom. Freedom for you, Scorpio, looks like this: not needing to control every angle of a conversation, not replaying every word someone said to make sure there was no hidden attack, not waiting for the moment they disappoint you so you can say, "I knew it." Freedom looks like crying without apologizing for it, saying "I don't know" without feeling weak, asking for help without feeling ashamed, allowing someone to stand beside you without having to test them 1,000 times to confirm they're not your enemy. This Sunday's energy opens a portal for exactly that kind of freedom, and the universe will use real people, real interactions, and real emotions to show you where you are ready to shift. Perhaps you'll notice that when you finally speak your truth to someone, instead of punishing you, they lean closer. Or maybe the opposite happens. Someone pulls back when they can no longer feed off your role as eternal fixer and emotional container. Either way, what is revealed is sacred. The ones who stay when you are honest, when you are vulnerable, when you are not performing strength, those are your people. Those are the souls who are meant to walk with you through this next chapter. The ones who disappear when your mask comes off are not proof that you are too much. They are proof that they were never enough to love you as you truly are. You might notice in the days surrounding this Sunday that your relationships are sorting themselves out as if by an unseen hand. Connections that have felt heavy, transactional, or one-sided may begin to crack, not necessarily through dramatic arguments, but through simple, undeniable clarity. You'll suddenly see where you have been giving from emptiness just to avoid being alone, where you've maintained ties out of loyalty to an old version of yourself rather than alignment with who you are now. At the same time, quieter bonds, the ones that have always felt gentle, honest, and steady, may start to glow in your awareness. You'll feel drawn to the people who make your nervous system relax, who don't need you to be mysterious or all-knowing, who are just happy that you exist. This is the energy shift. Your soul is redirecting your investment, pulling you away from dynamics that demand performance and toward those that allow presence. Scorpio, you are not meant to be a permanent emotional bodyguard for people who never learn to stand on their own. You are meant to be a co-creator of soulful, mutual, nourishing bonds where your intensity is welcomed, not exploited. Financially and spiritually, this shift may also bring surprising insights. You might see clearly how much of your relationship with money has been tied to fear of dependency, fear of being controlled, fear of losing what you worked so hard for, and how that fear has kept you in jobs, contracts, or patterns that drain your spirit. This Sunday can act as a spiritual audit. Where does your energy go, and what are you actually receiving in return? Are you pouring your gifts into spaces that respect them, or into places that only value you when you're overperforming and underfeeling? The once-in-a-lifetime quality of this energy doesn't mean some rare cosmic event will never happen again. It means that you will never be in this exact place, with this exact awareness, with this exact soul fatigue and readiness, ever again. The choice you make now, to keep tolerating what numbs you or to slowly, deliberately move toward what awakens you, will set a tone that carries far beyond this week. As this energy shift peaks, your inner child, the part of you that once loved without calculation, trusted without spreadsheets, felt deeply without shame, may start to push against the walls you built around them. You may remember old moments when you were told you were too intense, too dramatic, too sensitive, or too much, and you'll realize how many times you decided to harden instead of honor yourself, to withdraw instead of express, to protect others from your truth instead of protecting yourself from environments that could never handle it. This Sunday is an invitation to take that child by the hand and bring them home. You do this not by becoming naive again, but by choosing to live from a place where your emotional depth is not a liability, but a compass, not something to be hidden, but something to be stewarded with care. When you allow that softer, truer part of you to breathe, your intuition sharpens, not dulls. Your boundaries become clearer, not weaker. You no longer tolerate chaos disguised as passion or manipulation disguised as love, because the part of you that once settled for crumbs now remembers it was always worthy of a full, nourishing table. Over the weeks that follow this Sunday, you may feel waves of doubt, nostalgia, or confusion. You might miss the simplicity of the old roles, the strong one, the mysterious one, the one who never flinches, even if those roles were silently killing you. That's normal. Identity doesn't evaporate overnight, it melts layer by layer as you choose authenticity again and again in small but powerful ways. Each time you tell the truth instead of playing a part, each time you rest instead of performing productivity, each time you say no to a connection that only wants your strength and not your humanity, you are anchoring this energy shift into your reality. And as you do, you'll notice something beautiful. You feel less exhausted by life. Your body softens, your laughter becomes more real, your presence feels less like a fortress and more like a warm fire, still strong, still intense, but inviting, not intimidating. That is what your soul has been trying to lead you toward all along. Scorpio. This Sunday does not come to punish you or to strip you of your power. It comes to return your power to its rightful owner, you. Not the version of you that needs constant control or constant armor, but the version that can sit in a room, fully present, fully honest, fully feeling, and know that they are safe within themselves, no matter who stays and who goes. Your magnetism in this new chapter will not come from secrets, tests, or emotional games. It will come from your rare willingness to be real in a world full of performance. You will draw to you people, opportunities, and blessings that resonate with your frequency. Not because you manipulated the energy, but because you finally matched it. And perhaps the most important part of this once-in-a-lifetime shift is this. You stop needing life to constantly prove your worth. You stop chasing reassurance from half-present people. You stop bargaining with the universe from a place of fear. Instead, you stand where you are, breathe deeply, and begin to live as if you belong here. Because you do, and you always have. As you let these words settle, take one slow breath and place your hand over your heart. Quietly ask yourself, where am I still pretending? Whatever memory, face, situation, or habit rises first, that is where this Sunday's light wants to enter. You don't have to fix everything in a day. You don't have to confront everyone at once. You simply have to stop lying to yourself about what hurts and what heals, about what drains you and what restores you, about what was never love and what quietly has been love all along. Let this be the day you start choosing based on your truth, not your fear. Let this be the day you decide that your softness is as sacred as your strength, that your tears are as holy as your silence, that your desire for real connection is not weakness, but wisdom. And know this, if this message feels like it's speaking straight into a place you didn't even have words for, it's because on some level, your soul called it in. This story, this vision of a Sunday where you turn toward yourself instead of away, is a mirror of one possible timeline, a gentle thought experiment for your spirit, a whispered prophecy of what can unfold when you finally honor the power that has always lived within you. Take what resonates, leave what does not, and let it move through you like a prayer. Not every sentence is meant for every Scorpio, and that is perfectly okay, but if even one line awakens a quiet knowing inside you, hold on to it as a sacred invitation to become the version of yourself who no longer chases external miracles, but realizes they have been the miracle all along.